Hello, welcome. How are you today? Just give me a minute, please. Oops. Okay, I think all is good now. Yeah, so welcome. My name is Ela Morello. Hello, Carla. And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is how to use a couple of healing tools. Today we're going to talk about energy protection. So we're going to have a little talk for us to understand a couple of important points, and then we are going to jump into how we are going to use these uh, beautiful tools. We have also a Palo Santo. This already feels so good. Well, if you are watching this for the first time, my name is Ela Morello. I am a being like you, having the opportunity to evolve every day. So, energy protection. Well, a lot of us feel that sometimes we really need that boost in our energy, right? Or we go to places and we feel bad, or we come back from a party and we are feeling exhausted without energy, or even in our house. You don't know what's up, but something does not feel right. Well, today I want to give you a couple of tips on how we can change that. So the first thing I want to talk about is how quantum physics, how physics that talks about energy, explain to us about this evil eye, about how other people energy can affect us, and also how spirits, if you believe that, um, how they influence our field, our energy field. So I want to start by saying that basically what quantum physics explained to us is that no one can ever throw you any bad energy. No one can ever have a bad eye, throwing you a bad eye, an evil eye. The reason why is because you are a sovereign being. So actually, whenever you experience this exhaustion after a party, or you experience, like you met that friend and then right now you feel drained, you feel strange. Well, he explains to us that actually we are experiencing our own energy. Well, are you crazy? What's going on? What do you mean? Well, basically, we already know at this point that we are energy. Our body is made out of energy, right? If you have missed this talk and you want to go a little bit deeper, watch the talk that is called the quantum physics. Anyways, for the purpose of today, we just have to agree at this point that everything that exists is made out of energy. Energy vibrates in a certain frequency. That's how we measure energy, by frequencies, right? So imagine your radio. If you tune up to the station 100.9, you're going to hear something. If you tune up to another frequency, you're going to hear something else. Well, that's more or less what happens in us humans as um, as how our energies, they manifest themselves in this reality. So we are going to change the vibration of our energy with what we think, with what we eat, with what we feel. And that's why the power of manifestation has almost nothing to do with what we say, but rather with what we vibrate. Okay, so that's why it's important for us to understand where our vibrations are coming from in order to raise that vibration. Okay, because the universe truly works as a magnet field that is going to repel or attract certain kind of energy. So going back to the talk of today that talks about negative energy and how to cleanse that. Well, quantum physics also explains that everything that exists has a quantum field. Okay, so imagine this pen has a quantum field around it. And actually, my hand, the quantum field of my hand is actually touching the quantum field of this pen. Everything that exists is composed by this quantum field. And what is interesting about that is that the quantum fields carries memory. So that's why it's so important for you to make a cleansing, an energy cleansing in clothes that you buy secondhand, for example, in your house. Why? If you are inside that place, and who knows, maybe there was a lot of fights and so on, objects have a quantum field that are able to retain memory. So that's why it's so important for us to neutralize those energies. Do you know when people think that it's just like mysticism when you believe, oh, this is my clothes, my shirt of good luck, for example? It might even start as a mysticism. But because you believe that, and literally just positive things and lucky things start happening to you with that shirt, well, that information is actually in the quantum field of that object. So going back to us, when I told you that you actually experience your own energy and not the energy of the other person, what I mean is, if the other person is vibrating low, let's say that person is there complaining about everything of life, that person that just see the problem, never the solution. Anyways, and somehow that made a resonance, because whenever an energy it's in the same frequency as another energy, they create a they add themselves up because they make resonance. So this plus this energy right now is higher. Same thing as if you're experiencing something really good with your friend and your friend is also experiencing something really good, and you both also amplify that energy. So the energies are making resonance. So if you are having this time with this person and you already know, you're feeling it already, that that person is putting you down, you're feeling heavy and so on. Well, remember you experience your own quantum field. Not necessarily. That's what it gets interesting. You're feeling the same way as that person. But let's say, I'm going to give you an example. You're worried about the health of your dog. Let's put it this way. So somehow there is this frequency of worry. There is this frequency of being preoccupied with the health of your dog. And then you have this friend that is actually going through something really dark. I don't know. Like maybe she's going through a divorce and she's really like not seeing any solution and she wants to give up on her life. I don't know. I'm going like in an extreme here. Well, you see that you literally have different issues. It's not about the situation itself, but somehow that low frequency energy is making some type of resonance with the one you had inside, even though you were not like so much looking at that, even though that was not interfering during your day. But right now, with this resonance, well, that's why you're feeling drained, overwhelmed. So the good thing about that is knowing that you are going to make resonance for different situations. Okay, it's literally different situations. It's not necessarily the same situation outside, but knowing that you're experimenting your own energy, you have the choice to actually work on your unconscious, using healing tools, whatever it is, in order to elevate your energy, in order for you to differentiate your energy from negativity in this case. Also, we don't realize, I gave you an extreme example here, but we don't realize that this is much more common in our daily lives, and we don't even see that we are feeding our energy, our field, our quantum field with negative energy. If you are on Facebook, if you are on Instagram, and you are seeing all those news, so you're seeing people fighting over a comment, you are seeing a catastrophe that happened in, I don't know, in some part of the world, and then you're gonna see that now everybody's going against this big company because it's using the slave, the work slave. Anyways, you are fed constantly with negativity, and even though you believe this might be inoffensive to you, your quantum field is getting that energy. Your quantum field is vibrating, is resonating somehow, is getting that information on you. So whenever I tell you differentiate yourself from negativity, it's not for you to pretend nothing is happening. However, realize that the human brain and the human soul was not wired to have all this access of this information in the speed that we have. So literally, we humans are wired to go through phases. So yes, we are here, all of us, as in this community. Something happened to us, something really bad. Let's say whatever it is, something interfere in our economy or in our neighborhood or whatever it is. We're here. We all gonna have this period of having a hard time and being able to overcome our own internal things and as a society in order for us to rise again. So we need as humans and so this cycle. And what happens with all our availability to this information is that we are bombarded all the time with negative problems. We don't even have time to go back. So this makes us lose hope. This makes us believe we have no power, because literally every time you turn on your TV, everything is so fucked up. Everything is so wrong. So you start losing that internal power. So with that being said, I want to say that the good part of it is you have the power to start consuming. Start with the little things. If you're feeling really down with negative energy and so on, start consuming. This starts on you. Okay? Start consuming high energy content. I'm not saying you cannot know what's going on in the world, but I'm saying, can you at least try to consume something that actually brings you peace, brings you joy? Have a conversation with a friend about, I don't know, nothing that matters or something that matters, but something that feeds your soul. So this is one thing. Second, don't feed the drama. If you have a problem in your life, okay, realize you have the problem and start looking for the solutions. If you're not able to look for the solutions, leave that problem in a second. Leave right there for a second. Start working on something else that you need. But do not realize that you're wasting your energy thinking about a problem. Most of the time, you're thinking about a problem that is in the future. And that's the reason why you cannot fix it, you cannot solve it. So, what does this bring to you? Anxiety. What does this make to your energy level? Well, low frequencies. Then, when you meet that other friend, that is the one that complains a lot, well, you're going to make resonance. Do you see how interesting this is? So, another thing that you can do also, focus on solution of problems. This is important. If you don't have the strength in that moment, it's fine. Go do something else or meditate or ask for help, but do not keep feeding your mind in things that you cannot find a solution in the present moment. Okay? Another invitation, watch your boundaries. This is something really hard for us human beings, as we have been working here in this lives in our subconscious, so we already know why. putting our limits and setting our boundaries might be so hard for us. But it's okay. Just use any healing tools, understand what are your resistances, what are your internal fears that don't allow you to say, this is my limit, that don't allow you to actually stop that person over there in a great way, in a loving way, but setting up your limits. Another tip I want to tell you is respond, but don't react. A response actually flows from our mental clarity and emotional strength. And it comes actually to produce, to guide the person to our desired outcome, while our reaction actually come from uncontrollable reflexes that we have in our unconscious. So another way for you to raise your vibration, from negativity is you have to make a cleansing on your subconscious. Because if you just keep reacting because people affect your triggers, now you're gonna keep reacting and reacting. That's why you have to cleanse your subconscious in order to act and not react. Okay, so these are a couple of things, and obviously take care of yourself, understand what are your priorities, understand how you can say no or yes, understand what your limits are. So these are tips that I am giving you for you to uh, change yourself mentally, for you to from differentiate yourself mentally and energetically from negativity. So in this way, you're not going to make resonance. Now we're going to go to another part of this talk, which is what about the obsessive spirits, Ella? There is sometimes I'm in my house and I feel there is this spirit. I feel there is something bad. Someone might have done something to me and I don't know what it is, but I feel this energy. Well, let's remember that you are a sovereign being. And by that, I want to give you a tool where you're gonna, for you to understand that, okay, if I'm a sovereign being, actually, the obsessive spirits, some people call it that way. Actually, by the dictionary, obsessive spirits mean is a form of it's a uncomfortable form caused, according to traditional belief, by the persistent attack of an invading spirit from outside into the individual. What I believe in this spiritual path, making it super simple so we can get into the tools, is the obsessive spirits are spirits that somehow did not ascend. So somehow they are here around us and they're going to feed from things that they were not able to heal. For example, giving you an example, alcohol. Whenever you're drinking alcohol, you might have alcoholic spirits, or I don't know if I'm saying that word correctly, but anyways, the spirits that disincarnated, but still cannot leave this attachment to the material world. And they are going to use yourself in order to have this pleasure of drinking alcohol. The same with drugs. The same with emotional patterns. For example, if you're a person that has a lot of rage inside of you and you explode, you keep reacting, that obsessive spirit that has this rage inside of it, it's going to explore himself through you. So literally, it's going to be something in your unconscious, something right here in your ear that is going to be like, look how that person is trying to fuck you. That person is doing everything in their power in order to make you harm. Somehow inside of you, someone is feeding that. And then what is your reaction? You're going to explode towards that person in rage. And that's how a lot of people believe and understand how the obsessive spirits have an interference in our life. Can we get rid of them? Absolutely. You just have excuse me. I need water. 1 second. The spirits are not liking what I am going to teach here. Okay, I'm back. So, yes, absolutely. You are a sovereign being. And by knowing that, you can always protect yourself. And I'm going to teach you a couple of things here that you can do in order for these spirits to leave you alone. Or even for you to uh, don't allow the negativity of other people to make resonance with your own energy. So basically, what I taught you here is differentiate yourself psychically from negativity. Okay, and that's why I already gave you a couple of tips. But mainly, you're gonna need a lot of willpower in order to decide not to make resonance to those. So stop avoiding looking just the tragedies. Stop avoiding whenever your grandmother or whoever it is, that person that just talks about negative things and how the world is terrible. You know those people that literally you call and you say, "Hey, how are you?" "I'm alive." "Oh well, good. I'm glad." I don't know, but do you know those people? So protect yourself. Understand what you can give. Don't get involved into that. So that's how you differentiate psychically from negative energy. Then, right now, we're going to use tools in order to help ourselves differentiate us and protect us. So one thing that I want to teach you, two different ones that I love, I really love, before we go into our sages and smudges, is whenever you are with that friend or with that worker or whoever it is, and that person is literally complaining to you in your face, and you are feeling drained, maybe even you have a positive attitude, maybe even you're telling the person, you know what, it's okay. Like the person is complaining about the food of the job, the person is complaining about the boss because the boss didn't arrive on time, whatever it is, and you're like trying to be positive, like, hey, it's okay, at least you're having a good day, or at least, I don't know, you're trying even to be possible positive, but you know that energy of that person is just like draining you, and you're gonna have to be there talking to that person. I invite you to right away, you don't have to close your eyes or anything, but this absolutely helped me out, which is you're gonna imagine between you and this person that is complaining, because if you can, simply leave, okay? But if you cannot and you have to hear that person, what you're gonna do is you're gonna to uh the person's in front of you, you're gonna be here listening to that person, and you're gonna imagine a flower, a beautiful flower. I like to imagine a rose flower in front of me, my size. This rose is my size, and I see this rose growing roots until the center of earth. So you go one step, so go down the building that I'm at, start getting into all the layers and levels of the earth, and it wraps its roots around this beautiful crystal that is in the center of earth. Okay, whenever your rose is grounded, you will see that all that person is telling you, that rose is absorbing it before it arrives to you and is taking it down into the ground, into earth. And earth is transmuting that energy. In this way, literally, you're not allowing this energy to arrive into your quantum field, into your aura. Your flower here in front of you is going to be your armor, let's say this way. It doesn't allow it to pass. At the same time that I am doing this visualization, while the person is in front of me, talking all the negativity in the world, another thing that I actually do is I imagine myself, I see myself involved in this bubble of blue light. The blue light is related to protection, is related to Archangel Michael, in case you believe in angels and archangels. And, anyways, you can imagine yourself surrounded by this blue light while the rose drains all the energy, the negative energy that arrives and is getting into the ground. When you try this, you'll be surprised of how different you will feel after you left that conversation. You're gonna be literally like, okay, somehow you didn't even hear what the other person was saying. It's important that while you do that, do not get involved in those comments. Do not focus on the problem. Do not try to show that person solutions or to see life in a different way. We are simply protecting you and raising your vibration in order for you not to vibrate in that frequency, in the negative frequency. This is one tool that I love doing, and this is absolutely powerful. Try it out next time. You know you're going to meet someone that loves to complain. The second one is, if you already know you're going to a place, let's say a meeting or a party where people don't really love you, and you feel like, I don't know, that they're going to put bad eye on you, or you're going to feel bad, or people do not cheer for your success, and so on, one thing that you can do is protect your belly button. Literally, this is the center of energy of your body. It's how you exchange energy with your surroundings and space. So what you can do is you can get a tape, you can put a coin if you want, and you can tape your belly button. Literally, you can create a cross, an X, whatever it is. You're just simply closing your exchange of energy with the outside space. I it's important that I tell you, for you not to do this every day. Why? Because at some point it is important, it's part of you. You need to exchange and renew your energy. It's the same thing as if you close a house and you never open it. You need to let fresh air clean this. Correct? It's the same thing with energy. You cannot simply close yourself up forever and ever and don't exchange energies, because you're going to feel depleted and a lot of other things. So use these tools um, wisely. You know that's going to be a place you might feel attacked somehow. You don't like the energy of these people, whatever it is, then you use that. But don't use this every day. Okay, so this is one nice other trick that I love doing it. And finally, we're getting to our smudging friends, which are our sages, uh, natural sages, smudge sticks, Palo Santo, and so on. So, what is sage? So, by the way, okay, let me tell you about the sage first. Sage has the ability to clear bacteria in the air, and also the smoke offers rapid delivery to the brain, and and is quickly absorbed by the body. So when a sage is burned, it releases negative ions, which is linked to putting people into a positive mood. The Latin word for sage is salvia, which means heal. So smudging is actually an ancient ceremony where sacred plants are burned, and the resulting smoke is actually what blesses the space. So basically, the smoke, it will neutralize the quantum field of anything. So the reason why people use sage is because sage has this powerful energy of cleansing, but it neutralizes. It's just like the coarse salt. It's just like the salt. It cleanses. However, why people burn together other herbs, for example, lavender or any other herb? Well, because after you cleanse, you might want to manifest something into your auric field. Okay, so also keep in mind that saging yourself every day and saging your house every day, you're actually not allowing any positive, let's say this way, energies or positive thoughts also to keep there, because you're keep cleansing and cleansing and cleansing. So it's important that you start feeling this in order to know, I need to make a cleansing. And right now I can simply work with another herb in order to manifest what I want. Okay, so how do we work with it practically, in a practical way? Well, you're gonna start. Since I talked about the spirits, I just want to make clear that whatever, whenever in your house, whenever I'm doing cleansing of houses, and if you are feeling there are spirits in your house, they're probably located close to a place that has a lot of metal and water, maybe in the kitchen and in the bathrooms. Uh, so, anyways, if you are doing your cleansing in your house, make sure you stay a little bit longer in those places if you're still not able to feel it, because that's usually where they stay together, stay more close to any metal and water. Okay. So my invitation is, if this is your house, it's important that you are a sovereign being in that space. If you share the house with other people, start by doing this in your room, in your space. Then you can talk to the people if you have their authorization in order to cleanse the whole house. Okay, but I'm gonna talk about the whole house, pretending, like assuming actually, that this is your whole space. Well, let's begin by our sovereign statement. And obviously, you can actually create your own sovereign statement. But I'm going to give you my example so you can base yourself on mine and know what to create for yourself. So, what is sovereignty? Is the right you have to have your space clear of unwanted spirits, vibrations, or interference and manipulation, control, or tampering with your free will. So, how do I declare my my sovereignty over my own self or my space? I always start my smudging process by my statement. And what do I do? It's like this. I connect with myself, right? Whatever guides you work with, you can connect with it, or your higher self, whatever it is that you believe. And I state, I declare my space sovereign, and I command that any being, energy, entity, consciousness, group, or artificial intelligence that is in or around my space and does not serve my highest good fully leave my space now, according to the cosmic law, and so it is. That's how I start. I am stating and commanding that this space is mine according to a cosmic law. Okay? After you made your statement, you are going to grab your sage. In this case today, I'm going to work with this one that I have created manually. Usually, you will find this type in the metaphysical shops, which works just fine. It's perfect. However, this is some naturally grown, and I have put it together. My sage, lavender, and a clear quartz. Why, Ella? Well, sage clearing, lavender cleansing of the space, right? Cleansing and making the energy neutral. Lavender, it also has this energy of purification as well, that will help you make me grounded and and in peace. It brings the sense of peace. The reason why there is a clear quartz here is because the clear quartz is the only crystal that we can actually program it. What do you mean by programming it? Well, it will automatically transform any low vibration energy into a higher frequency energy. However, if I want to put a specific intention, I can. It might be about my health, it might be about my finances, it might be about anything. It might be about my internal work for me to let go of my resistances. So, anyways, every time I'm going to do my work, I actually state clearly what I am about to work on. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hand your sage in your hand of power. What is your hand of power? The hand you write with. So I write with my right hand, so I'm gonna hold it with my right hand. You're gonna need a surface. Any plate will do it, because the only uh, reason why we have this is because this is fire, and we don't want to put our house on fire, maybe because it's close to a carpet or to a curtain, whatever it is. So make sure you have a little plate, okay, where you can uh, go around, so there is no risk of you putting flame in your house. Holding in your power hand, you're gonna put fire on it. I love doing it with a natural I don't know how to say that, but at this point I'm not in my house at this point. Well, it is my house anyways, but okay, never mind. I don't have it, so I just have a lighter, and that's completely fine as well. So as soon as you put fire on it, you will see that it starts to smoke, correct? So you're gonna start this exercise, actually this cleansing, with your sovereignty statement. You're gonna start with your sovereign statement. After that, and where do I start, Ella? It depends. If the house is yours, I would suggest you start in your kitchen because that's the spiritual center of your room, okay? Of your space, of your whole house. If you're doing just in your room, you can simply start on your room. Okay, so let's say you're gonna start on your kitchen and you're gonna do clockwise and you're gonna go around your whole house clockwise direction. Okay, and every time you are going clockwise, so you're gonna go here and you're gonna go there. If there is a stairs, you go up and then you go down and you do the whole house. Whenever you are going through doors or through windows, make sure you go around them through your doors and through your windows. And I always state, I keep making statements while I'm doing the cleansing. And I say, whatever is not aligned, and you can create your own statement, but I usually do. Whatever is not aligned with my highest good, leave this space right now. I am just welcoming here energies of love, of understanding, compassion, and so on. Whatever you are actually manifesting. Okay. So, also, really important, you're gonna finish your cleansing of the house in the exact same space as you started. Okay, so you're gonna start in your kitchen, you're gonna finish in your kitchen. Do not put your sage underwater. If you have, get a little basket of salt, or you can just do like this in your plate, or you can actually stop it if you have some sand as well, like this. Okay, just don't put water on your herb. And really, really important, whenever you start your cleansing, you have to open your doors and windows because we are asking the energy, the low frequency energy, the negative vibration to leave that space. And we have to open space for that energy to actually leave. So, what I do when I am doing this type of work is I love cleaning my house physically. I organize my house, I clean my house physically, and then I do my spiritual work. And literally after that, it's like, this is a new house. This is a new space. I'm already feeling different inside here. Remember that the sage will neutralize. After you finish your cleansing energy, what I like doing is a prayer of protection, for instance, or a meditation for protection. Or if I'm working on something specific, I actually make a prayer or a meditation or a ritual for that. So always remember that first you want to cleanse and then you want to manifest. Okay, what else did I wanted to tell you about this beautiful tool and herbs? Um, yes, I can talk to you a little bit about the Palo Santo. Palo Santo has more or less the same, it also a cleansing tool, but for me has a different energy. Okay, this one that I showed to you, I actually showed you this, which is the white sage. Okay, that is the most common, I would say. We have black sage, which is mugwort. We have Shasta sage, and all of them, whenever you work with them, stop. My invitation is always for you to start feeling it. You are energy. We are just so used to not feeling it that we don't believe we are capable of. However, try every time more to leave your mind out of it so you can start feeling it. I, whenever need a really deep cleansing, what I do is I get the Shasta sage and dragon blood resin. This for me is the most powerful, is like something went out of me or of my space. This is when I really need a deep cleansing. Whenever I just wake up, let's say a little bit strange today, I'm feeling like, I don't know. I don't need to do a full cleansing of my house. And by the way, this cleansing that I taught you can also do on your own self. You can open your arms and you do like this. You place it over here. Also, doing your intentions. You can do it in the back simply by doing in front of you and stepping in. Okay. And the time that you have to do that is literally by feeling it. You literally are going to hear, I'm good, or I need more cleansing. So that's super interesting. For me, the Palo Santo, in a lot of different researches and so on, and when I talk to people, they say that sage for them has a feminine energy, while the Palo Santo has a masculine energy. Uh, and by that, well, you can watch my live about feminine energy and masculine energy, so you understand what I mean by this. But truly, it is about experimentation. Okay, for me, the Palo Santo has such a light energy that, and it doesn't drain me. Because if I actually, and how do I know this? By experimenting on myself. For me, the sage has such a strong power that literally, whenever I do the sage, I do feel like, yes, relieved, but tired. If I keep doing sage, sage, and sage, I realize after like a couple of days that I don't have vitality. So it is important that you understand and work on your own senses. For me, the Palo Santo is a really good alternative to the sage because it's for me has a lighter energy. So I wake up in that day that is more or less, I light up my Palo Santo. I stay here for like a minute, connecting with myself. I cleanse myself. I can cleanse my body. I can cleanse my computer. I can cleanse my cards. I can set up my intention for the day. And this will, in a little bit, you'll see how it will stop the light, the smoke by itself. So literally this for me, but still the smell stays. This helped me elevate my energy. It really brings you a little boost of peace, of grounding, of cleansing. So this for me works in a lighter way as the sage does. If I do this whole sage, I will need to rest for a second. It's not like I'm going to do this in order to start my day. However, is this an absolute truth? No. You should experiment by yourself, experiment different sages. Okay? If you want to start by experimenting the way I said to you, great. But remember, if you feel differently, simply change. You understand? If you connect more with the Palo Santo, great. However, one really important thing that I want to tell you here. Palo Santo became really famous in the spiritual community. And like anything else in this world, there is a lot of greed and power involved and money and etc., etc., etc. The way that Palo Santo was actually used in rituals, okay, it was by following the procedure, which is the shaman would wait for the tree to fall down, and whenever that tree fall down, it would have a ceremony, and that will become a Palo Santo. Okay, then you would chop the tree and so on in order to become a Palo Santo. Because we don't have enough trees that fall down in order to give this, what start happening in our money-driven community. People start seeing a business as a Palo Santo and start chopping them down in order to get the Palo Santo. And energetically, does this have the same power as the shamans would use, would work with? Well, I don't even have to, keep going, right? So my invitation for you is if you're gonna buy a Palo Santo, please make sure it is ethnically sourced. There is many communities, indigenous tribes, and so on that actually perform this whole thing in the right way. And yes, it's gonna be more expensive. But if you're gonna work on your energy, which is really related to Mother Earth, let's respect, you know, give our love back to Mother Earth. So this is my I would like to perfect. Yeah. Great. So I just invite you to please don't, try to buy all this Palo Santo in a cheap way. Just try to please, in order for you to truly feel the energy of it, work with the traditional ones. So I want to thank you so much for all of you who watched this live. If you haven't watched from the beginning, I invite you to do so because before I taught you about a little bit about these tools, which was the sage and the Palo Santo. I also talked about how can we elevate our psyche, in order to don't resonate with negative energies. And I also have told you about a tool that I love using, which is, if you are in front of a negative person, how do you protect yourself right there and then, in order to canalize this energy into the earth right away, instead of absorbing everything and then having to go to your house and do the whole energy cleansing and everything. So, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.